Hey everyone, this is Mark with All American Health. We are a non-emergency medical transportation company. And like the title of the video said, we're going to talk about $5 gas prices. So a lot of you are seeing gas prices go up. And you may be a little stressed about it. You shouldn't be. In this video, if you watch to the end, you'll see how this actually benefits your non-emergency medical transportation company. It does not hurt you. So the highest gas had ever been in the state of Florida, and we're going to concentrate just on the state of Florida's gas prices today because we're based out of the state of Florida. The highest the gas prices have ever been was in 2008. It was $4.08 a gallon. If you guys remember, we were still in Iraq, Afghanistan, fighting wars, and the housing crash was coming. George Bush was in office, and everything was just going awry. The time that we're in right now is very similar. A lot of stuff is going on. As you all know, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. The United States just today did a spending bill to give Ukraine billions and billions of dollars. Now, who do you think is going to have to pay for that? Joe Biden's not going to have to pay for it. Joe Biden's probably already applied for retirement benefits from his 40 plus years of serving the American people in government. Plus he's getting paid his salary to be president. So who do you think is going to pay for that? Well, that's you and that's myself. How are we going to pay for that? We're actually doing it right now. We're paying for it with the rising gas prices. Here's the thing that you have to remember when gas prices go up. When gas prices go up, everything else goes up with it. We're a oil-driven economy. Where oil goes, so does all goods and other services that are provided as a result of transportation getting these goods and services to where they need to go. If bread was $3 6 months ago, trust me, bread will be $3.50 now. The cost to get that bread to that store has gone up dramatically. Diesel prices are over $5. I have a friend of mine who drives trucks. He showed me a bill for over $350, and he was like, I didn't even fill the tank up. Diesel prices are over $5. Now, this isn't a trucking channel. This is a non-emergency medical transportation channel. So we're going to talk non-emergency medical transportation prices. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to pull up my calculator. Let's say, for instance, you're driving a Dodge Caravan, which I tell you, you should not purchase. But you guys, you're conservative, you're not thinking like a business. And I was once there too. I've made some dumb decisions with caravans myself. But you're not thinking about the overall gain, the long-term implications of driving a caravan versus a larger, more commercial vehicle. So let's go with, how much it would cost to fill up a Dodge Caravan, and then we'll touch on how much it costs to fill up a commercial wheelchair van. So a Dodge Caravan is going to take 18 gallons of gas to fill it up on average. So we're going to do 18 times $4.37, which is the current price of gas in the state of Florida. That means it's cost $78.66 to fill up your tank if you're using unleaded. If you're using mid-grade like me, which you should, it preserves your vehicle's gas line a lot better since you are putting some heavy miles on the vehicle. you're paying well over $80 to fill up the tank. Let's take a look at how much it costs to fill up a commercial wheelchair van. It's probably 25 gallons. 25 times $4.37. $109.25. 6 months ago, probably cost you about $75, $80 to fill up a tank of gas for a commercial wheelchair van, which would have been actually less than what it's costing right now for you to fill up a caravan. Now, I bring this up because right now you guys are dealing with brokers that have you locked into a rate that was pre-gas spike levels. And you're saying to yourselves, how do I get out of this deal? How do I just walk away from it and not deal with it? Well, one, that's not the best idea. What you want to find yourself doing is finding a way to negotiate a better rate of reimbursement with the broker that you're dealing with. That's something that we help you with at All American Health. We actually have a template of what you need to gather and put together to improve the relationship you have with a broker. We have a client right now that signed an agreement that they were providing transportation services after a certain number of miles. They're receiving $1 reimbursement. And when he reached out to me in our discovery call, I was like, well, how much are you being reimbursed? He said $1 a mile. And I said, how are you still in business? He said, we're doing trips all over the place. I said, that sounds even worse. The more you're doing, the less you're making, because the deadhead between trips alone are going to kill your gas when you're providing services. Well, we do a lot of multi-loading. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At some point in time, one, scrambling all over the place like that, you're going to make a mistake. And two, that's just not a good rate of reimbursement. So what I told him was, you need to reach out to your representative and see where they're coming from. And trust me, guys, when you're talking with these brokers, the brokers, what you're doing to them, they're doing to the health plans right now. And really, they already did it with the health plan. They included the costs and the rise of goods and services inside of their contractual agreement. So if they're charging $1 a mile, and we'll just use the number that this gentleman was receiving, in year one, year two is automatically going to go up. That's a part of their agreement. That's just keeping in lockstep with the value of the dollar, with the economy, etc. Things that are far beyond our understanding or what we care about. But they're going to see a 7 to 10% increase. You're not. They're not going to roll that over to you. But they're already seeing it. Their job as brokers is to get the lowest rock bottom price from the providers as possible, and then to keep the difference in profit. So they've actually done their job if they've gotten you to sign a contract for $1 a mile. That's actually a good thing. Your job is to find a way to put yourself in a position where you're not using or receiving $1 a mile, where you're receiving something over $2 a mile at a minimum. There are some companies in the industry that are doing broker work that are receiving $3 a mile. And it's possible. But you have to understand how to put something like that together. You can't just say, well, I'm not doing trips at $1 a mile anymore. You have to say, how do I get from $1 a mile to $2 a mile? And really, you really want to start at 50 cents, because if you tell a broker you're going up by $1, they're not going to like to hear that. What they'll immediately start doing is reducing your trips. That's a good thing, because on this channel, we don't really care what brokers are paying us. That's not our concern. On this channel, our concern is B2B, and B2C relationships. It has nothing to do with brokers. We don't care. We use the broker model as an example of what you should not be doing. But we actually encourage you to go out there and find B2B relationships, B2C relationships. I spoke about bread earlier. Bread might have been $3 a loaf of bread 6 months ago. Now it's $3.50, and it's going to continue to go up. It costs money to deliver the bread. It costs money to make the bread. It costs money to grow the wheat that produces the bread. It costs money to produce the flour that you put into the wheat to make the bread. All of those prices are going up because oil is shooting up. And they're rolling it over to you as the consumer, so you should be doing the same thing. And some of you are sitting there saying, well, you know, you're going to raise the price of a trip on, sweet old Granny Mae. Yep, we're raising the price on Granny Mae. She can afford it, or she needs to ride with someone else. That sounds horrible. Not really. See, what you have to understand about services in the healthcare industry, social services, healthcare services, there's no cap when it comes to providing that service to the government. Now, their job is to pay attention and put things in place to control costs, but there is no gap. The reason there's no gap is because health services have nothing to do with cost when it's being provided to the American citizen. The catch is whatever it takes to provide that service, it's available. You just have to know how to obtain it. A lot of you were busy trying to keep your company in business, just like I was in 2020 going into 2021. So you didn't read about how they gave rehab centers, hospitals, urgent care facilities, express medical facilities, additional funding for COVID patients. They initiated that and approved it because they already knew there was going to be a need. And a lot of your hospitals, a lot of your rehab centers use those funds to designate COVID positive wings and to separate a COVID positive patient for isolation from an individual that just came in with a broken ankle. COVID positive goes over in this wing because we receive additional funding. Broken ankle goes on this wing. Both of them are emergency issues, but they're separated. Let me ask you, did any of your brokers pay you more money during COVID? Did any of them come to you and say, we're going to go ahead and pay you a little more? I doubt it. If they didn't, you don't know your worth. And as we say all the time on this channel, know your worth and then double it. Hopefully this has been helpful. You guys take care.